a child.
This isn't looking good.
I've seen worse. I owe you from last time.
We have a deal.
Nice shot.
I was aiming for the other one.
And that's probably why, despite centuries of civil wars and even the Empire's purge of Mandalore, the Code still survives. Mandalorians have always been known as some of the galaxy's fiercest warriors. The Clone Wars showed us armies of jetpack-clad fighters who could go toe-to-toe with Jedi. But here's the twist. The Code doesn't glorify violence for its own sake. It glorifies honor in battle and unity in purpose. Think about Din Djarin's journey. At the start, he's a lone bounty hunter, following the Code mainly out of ritual. But over time, he learns that the real meaning of the Mandalorian way isn't about solitude. It's about belonging. His bond with Grogu, his loyalty to his covert, and eventually his willingness to fight for Mandalore's future alongside Bo-Katan, all of that comes straight from the Code's deeper principle: your clan is your life. That resonates beyond Star Wars. Strip away the sci-fi setting, and what we're looking at is a philosophy that says strength means nothing if you're alone. Let's zoom out. In Star Wars lore, Mandalorians date back thousands of years long before the Skywalker saga. Legends materials, like the Knights of the Old Republic, comics and novels, describe Mandalorians as a nomadic warrior people who would adopt outsiders into their culture. That's important. Mandalorians weren't defined by species, but by commitment to the creed. Twi'leks, humans, Zabraks, anyone could be a Mandalorian if they lived the Code, and that principle has carried through to modern canon. Din Djarin himself is a foundling, adopted after his family was killed during the Clone Wars. Grogu, though not officially a Mandalorian yet, is also being raised as a foundling. This tradition of choosing family and forging bonds through shared honor makes Mandalorians one of the most inclusive yet demanding societies in Star Wars. In other words, they're not just warriors, they're builders of identity. Now, here's where it gets juicy. The Mandalorian Code often clashes with the rest of the galaxy. The Jedi value peace and serenity. Mandalorians value strength and resolve. The Empire demanded obedience. Mandalorians demanded freedom. Even among themselves, different factions have interpreted the creed in ways that sparked bloody civil wars. Bo-Katan Kryze's entire arc is a study in how codes evolve. Early on in the Clone Wars, she followed Death Watch, a group that twisted the Code into a justification for terror and conquest. Later, she realized the Code could mean something greater: unity and leadership, not domination. By the time we see her in The Mandalorian, she's wrestling with what it means to reclaim Mandalore not just as a planet, but as a people bound by creed. That tension, the push and pull between rigid tradition and necessary adaptation, is exactly what makes Mandalorian culture so fascinating. Here's the real kicker. The Mandalorian Code is fictional, but it taps into something deeply human. We all live by codes, whether we admit it or not. Sometimes it's religious, sometimes cultural, sometimes just personal values. And just like the Mandalorians, we struggle with the same questions. Do we hold to tradition, even when the world changes? Do we bend the rules for survival? Do we risk unity for personal freedom, or sacrifice individuality for the greater good? Din Djarin, Bo-Katan, Sabine Wren, they all wrestle with these choices, and that's why their stories feel so relatable. The code isn't about rules carved in stone, it's about identity forged in fire. So, why does the Mandalorian code still hit so hard with fans decades after it was first introduced in Star Wars lore? Because it's a mirror. It reflects back at us the timeless struggle between honor and survival, between tradition and change. This is the way has become a meme, sure, but it's also become a mantra. A reminder that no matter how chaotic the galaxy or our own world gets, there's power in belonging, honor in keeping your word, and strength in standing with your clan. Din and Grogu might just be two unlikely warriors traveling the galaxy, but their bond, their choices, and their adherence